Hello, everybody. We are Group 29, and today we'll be presenting our presentation on our chosen intentional teaching strategy, Imagining. Our group consists of myself, Zamzam, Andrea, Hannah, and Samit. The goal of our presentation is to explore how imagining as an intentional teaching strategy supports children's areas of development, such as cognitive, language, and social development, while also linking our strategy to the relevant theories, the early years learning framework, and children's developmental milestone. Intentional teaching strategy refers to the purpose of taking action by an educator to promote children's learning and development. These strategies are guided by clear understanding and children's development, curriculum goals, and children's individual needs. Individual needs. By being deliberate with the approach, educators can create a meaningful learning experience that fosters growth, curiosity, and engagement. What is imagining? Imagining is defined as creating an environment in which children are encouraged to wonder, use imagination, and think creatively to inquire, investigate their hypotheses, and express themselves. Teachers and educators plan opportunities for children to have freedom and engage with experiences where they can explore multiple possibilities. Imagining as a teaching strategy involves creating environments where children freely engage in experience through the use of their creative thinking. These strategies encourage children to explore multiple purposes, foster independence and agency in learning. Children are given the freedom to immerse themselves in creative and imaginative play, which is essential in early childhood development. The theorists that we've linked our teaching strategies are Miriam Montessori's theorist. Our strategy links strongly with her theory as it stresses the importance of environment in children's learning. The theory suggests that children learn best in environments designed to provide opportunities to make choices with materials that engage in imagination. The Montessori theory the theory sets often environments with multiple ages, allowing children to co-construct and learn from peers, resulting in a creative and cooperative learning. Our intentional theory can also be linked to Piaget's theory of cognitive development, as it suggests teaching strategy by elaborating on how children's imaginative play is important for their understanding of the world. It explains how children develop cognitive abilities through different stages of life, each highlighting different ways of thinking and understanding the world. Now, linking to the early years learning framework, imaginative teaching strategy links directly to outcome 4. Children are confident and involved learners as imaginative play allows children to take control of their learning and explore new ideas. And also outcome 5, children are effective communicators as imaginative play allows children to practice verbal communication and non-verbal communication, enhancing their learning skills. In summary, through intentional teaching strategies like imagining, we can create rich learning environments that fosters children creative and helps them develop essential skills like cognitive, language, and social skills. Thank you, and I will now pass it on to Andrea, who will continue on.
All right, thank you, Zamzam, for that. Linking on from what Zamzam mentioned, creating all this environment and our thinking, we can also explore the imagination across the early childhood education. So from birth to 2 years, first 2 years of the child's life is the foundation of imagination and creativity. Between birth and 12 months, babies will start to develop their imagination by imitating sounds, exploring facial expressions in the mirror, and playing peekaboo. They become more and more interested in the world, and play becomes the main way that babies develop, learn, and explore the world. Examples of such activities are like sitting your baby in front of the mirror. Our young babies can look at the mirror while laying on their sides or tummies so they can explore facial expressions or reactions in the mirror. They can also look outdoors for new and interesting natural objects. Let the baby explore them with their senses. They could feel the roughness of a seashell or taste a leaf in the ground. Moving on to 2 to 3 years or the toddler years, kids begin to enjoy in more complex play scenarios at this stage. They are learning more about differentiating reality from fiction, expressing their feelings, and cooperating with others. Providing children with a range of toys to choose from, including open-ended items like cardboard boxes or setting up home corner for imaginative play experiences is a way to go. So some children might play with the babies, or some children might do the cooking, or some would just like sit on one area and wait for the food to be delivered to them. So it's up to the children to explore that kind of imagination. So when they go to 4 to 5 years, this is prior to formal schooling. By this point, the children are old enough to take the lead in imaginative play. Simple materials can be placed in certain areas and take it from there. Provocations would work well with this group as they can put more things and create more. They can communicate more on the things that they have made. So examples of activities on these areas will be like performing stories, like the books that they have read, or they can do show and share, which means that when they draw something from the experience that they had in the room, they could stand up in front of the whole group and then share what they had, or they can bring in something from home and then share it in certain they will be set a date to do the activities. So, accord from the previous slide with Zamzam, she already mentioned that most of the imagination activities, exploring imaginative and creative play, would link to EYLF4 and EYLF5. To explore more on a specific activity for a certain age group, I will now pass on this recording to Hannah to tell us how she had this activity, how she used imagination in her own room. Hannah?
Thank you, Andrea. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm going to introduce an activity called Going on a Bear Hunt Adventure. So I designed this activity for children age group 1 to 2, and it supports teaching a strategy, imagining through role playing. The goal of this activity is encouraging imaginative play while fostering sensory and motor skills. So as we know, with toddlers, has to keep things simple, repetitive and fun to encourage them to hold their attention and focus. And by short words and language, we develop their language skills. And by using like words like splash or shh, we encourage them to develop their language skills. And in tactile side, by short instructions like walk, crawl, splash, we encourage them to physically be active and making it interactive and engaging activity. So, for visual and non-verbal strategies to bring the bear hunt to life, I decided to use some props like toy bears or cave, which could be out of a box or a cubby house, or using some visual cards. For auditory side, using some repetitive sounds like splash for just crossing a river, or for tiptoeing can enhance their auditory needs. And for tactile side, by providing some water, which could be in a bucket or in a tray, they can splash in the water, and by crawling on a soft mat, which could be a soft blanket, they can just pretend they're passing a forest. So the question is, how can we support diverse learners through this activity? By providing different strategies to meet different needs of children's, like sensory needs, we can support different learners, such as like visual learners. By providing props such as cave and visual cards, we can support these sorts of learners. And for auditory learners, by listening to a background of music, or by using the by talking to them and using the words like a splash, we can support the auditory learners. For sensory learners, by providing the water and soft materials like mat or grass stripes, we can meet their needs. And also by providing verbal cues and visual cards, we can support the children who needs extra support. So this way, everyone can join in and develop sensory, cognitive, and social emotional skills. So here is the breakdown of this activity. We'll pretend first to walk through a forest, which could be a mat or just walking outside in the garden. And we pretend to cross a river, which could be some water, and we will crawl into the bear cave. And after finding the bear, we would pretend to just run away, creating excitement and laughter. These movements build motor skills and keep the activity fun. Now, Sanmeet will talk about the review of intentional teaching of imagining. Sanmeet?
Thank you, Hannah. In this section, we will be reviewing the strategy of imagining, evaluating its potential to improve practice and children's learning and development. Let's investigate the temporal environment context to begin with. This strategy can help the pre-service teachers to ensure the continuity of learning throughout the day, both indoor and outdoor environments, in all age groups, by allowing children in predicting what is coming next. It allows the pre-service teachers to create responsive routines by using both visual and verbal imagination strategies. The visual prints or the verbal instructions can be used to prompt imagination and problem solving. Imagination can develop the conflict resolution in children and allow pre-service teachers in modeling problem solving strategies for the young learners. We will look into the social context now. Research has shown imagining potentially develops the cognitive and social emotional skills in children by encouraging the problem solving, creative thinking, language development, and abstract the thinking to manipulate their own ideas. The children can explore and express their emotions in a safe environment. They can develop empathy as they negotiate roles in a pretend play and make connections to their own real life experiences. The children develop their social skills such as communication, negotiation, cooperation as they play in groups. They develop virtues like turn taking and sharing, as we've seen in the bear hunt activity. Imagining allows children to express their own ideas in context of their own cultural beliefs, learning ability, and age. It can be customized as per the children's needs. We will look into the physical environment now. Using the imagining strategy, the pre-service teachers can enhance the physical environment by creating stimulating learning spaces that can keep children engaged for a longer period of time. The pre-service teachers can also integrate the augmented reality with the imagining technique, and learning becomes fun as children can play different games and learn different life skills alongside. The children can use the imagination to enhance their own different development and learning. And it also enhances the fun of the play, as different multimedia resources such as speakers and interactive screens can be used. It also allows the flexible use of the space and create environments that can be easily adapted to support a wide variety of imaginative play. For example, corner of a room can be transformed from reading a book to pretend play supermarket, and ensuring the children can move freely and safely. We will look into what learning we have co-constructed throughout this presentation. Mario Montessori and Piaget's theory of cognitive development explains different stages where imagination plays different roles among different age groups in the children. The research shows that imagining strategy is a strong evidence-based intentional teaching strategy that can significantly contribute to various aspects of a child's development, such as cognitive development, problem solving, creativity, social-emotional development, language development, building a sense of identity, and making connections to the real world as per their age, diverse abilities, and cultural beliefs. The pre-service teachers can carefully design the teaching episodes to meet desired learning outcomes. Now, please take 2 minutes to reflect on what you have learned from this presentation and provide the feedback on the presentation and the learning. Thank you.